To love this production is called $1 Million Quartet, and of course that quartet is some famous names, except there might be one name that you're not as familiar with the rest of them. I am joined by two of the cast members. We have Sky Seals and Sara Diamond. Welcome to the show, guys. Great to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Well, let's talk about those four, Sara. We're talking Elvis Presley. Everybody knows the king, Elvis Presley. Jerry Lee Lewis, everyone. Johnny Cash, who Sky plays. And then there's Carl Perkins. And everybody that I've talked to about this production goes, who's Carl? So who is Carl Perkins exactly?
Carl Perkins is actually the father of rockabilly. And the Beatles said they wouldn't have existed without Carl Perkins and his guitar work. He wrote Blue Suede Shoes, which then Elvis performed on Ed Sullivan.
Yes.
Made it famous. Everybody thought Carl Perkins was covering Elvis, which is where a lot of the drama in the show comes from. But then he did songs like Matchbox and Who Do You Love, that we all know. He's one of the more covered artists, but he's not a household name, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly. So did you know who Carl Perkins, be honest, before this production?
I did know Carl Perkins, but I've learned so much just from being involved in this production. And, you know about the greats, but to really know the story and learn about it and kind of become attached to what they went through and their stories has been really amazing.
Where does the name come from for this production?
$1 Million Quartet?
So there's a famous picture of the four of them, which is kind of what the whole show is based on. And the next day in the newspaper in Memphis, they named it the $1 Million Quartet, and it kind of stuck and became a legend.
Yeah, and they performed together in studio, and then as I understand, like the CD of it didn't come out till what, the 90s?
Oh yeah,
or
much
like
later they found the old tape and they were like, all right, let's put it out. Johnny Cash is not actually on that recording, so you can't hear him.
Okay.
There's a lot of different accounts of why that is. One story is that he only showed up for 15 minutes to pick up a paycheck. The other story is that his mic just wasn't recording. It was never recording, so we're not sure exactly.
All right, well, let's talk about your roles. Sara, you play the role of Elvis's girlfriend, right? Tell us about your character.
So the funny thing about Dyanne, Elvis's girlfriend, is that her name actually isn't Dyanne. Her name was Marilyn, and she was a dancer, but for this production, she is a singer.
Okay.
And she starts off kind of quiet, but then she really just joins in on the fun. Actually, helps Sam with a couple of, issues that he's being pushed and pulled with, and I think she's kind of the silent backbone of what's going on, and kind of just lending her support, lending her voice in fever, but kind of just being there and watching all of this amazingness happen with these talented people.
This is your first professional theater production. What's it like? How does it differ? I mean, you've sang in front of thousands of fans at Montreal Canadiens games, but this is different. How has it been different for you?
It is different. I did musical theater in high school and always loved it.
Yeah.
But something so incredible about doing it professionally is working with such talented, incredible people, and seeing their work ethic and their drive and the way that they just come so prepared and are amazing and talented. So it's been a really cool experience because it is different. Musical theater, there's acting, and you're always on and you're always in a character, but also bringing some of yourself. So I guess it kind of is like performing your own songs or performing songs of others. It's just getting into a character and really embodying it with yourself and with who you're supposed to be.
Well, Sky, speaking to that, you embody the character of Johnny Cash, which you've played in the past as well. What's it like trying to embody such an incredible legend in music?
It's a very distinct honor to be able to do it, and a lot of pressure. The first time I did it, actually only had 8 rehearsals. And I had never played the part before. I had never done the voice. I'm actually a tenor.
Okay.
And so I had to kind of switch up my voice to give it that lower timbre, which, people are expecting. People really, Elvis, there's a lot of different versions of Elvis, and everybody has their own Elvis in their mind. Jerry Lee Lewis is like, kind of the same thing. But Johnny Cash, like, people come in and they're like, you better nail it, boy. You better get there. So there's a lot of pressure, but I'm one of those performers that loves that kind of pressure, to try and live up to especially a mythological kind of character like Johnny Cash.
It doesn't have to be a Johnny Cash song, but what is your favorite song in this production, would you say?
There's a moment in Act 2 where it's almost an a cappella song that we sing. It's a song called Peace in the Valley. that we all...
Your favorite too?
We all kind of gather around, and it's a very quiet, kind of spiritual moment in the show. And Johnny was a very spiritual guy, but he also had a lot of dichotomies. So, you know, he was struggling with the new rock and roll lifestyle as well as his spirituality. And in that moment, he finds his center. And so I really, I love that moment.
Well, looking forward to the production. Thanks to you both for joining us. Really appreciate it. Want to mention to
having us.
everyone, it's at the Siegel Center, April 23rd to May 14th. And then after that, Place des Arts from May 17th to the 21st. Get your tickets because this is an award-winning production you're going to absolutely love. We'll be back with more after this.